Hello everybody, I am Carlos Zakiris from Future Games, and today we have Joshua here with us, and he's gonna show us the Order of the Gilded Compass. So, Josh?
So Order of the Gilded Compass is a dice assignment game with a treasure hunting theme. So in this game, players are going to be collecting treasure maps to ancient locations and then hiring specialists to work on those locations in order to attain maximum wealth. The idea is that each player is a treasure hunter, and whoever is best able to collect rare artifacts will get invited to this prestigious Order of the Gilded Compass. So it's a re-implementation of a game called Alia Iacta Est by Jeff Allers and Bernd Eisenstein. They designed this one as well, but we have developed it further, added some new content and so on. So what we're looking at here is actually about maybe 60% of the content that comes in the box.
Okay.
Because we have a series of buildings. Each game you use 3 of these locations, but we have many extras for you to mix and match and cause sort of different effects. The core mechanic is dice assignment, so every player on their turn will roll their set of dice and then choose some subsection of these to assign to a location. And each location has rules regarding how they can be assigned, whether they are single dice or they sum to a particular value. In this case, they use dice of the same value, so sets. In this case, they use runs, so dice in sequence. And the other buildings have some other ways to assign that. And each of them has a different reward. So as we go around the table and players assign their dice, we end up with competing sets. And when the round is complete, when one player has spent all their dice, we go through each location and resolve them based on the best dice assignment there. So the core of that is almost like an auction. And so each location gives you some sort of different benefit. We talked about the treasure maps and the specialists already, but there are things like the Treasure Hunters Guild, where you can acquire private missions, things that only score for you at the end of the game, or things like the Treasure Tower, which has a push your luck element where players want to stay in this building as long as possible, because the higher they reach in here, the more valuable the artifacts they can collect. But they can also be pushed out by other opponents. Each of them has a different way to regulate things, and so there's nine different ways to score, and then a bit of endgame scoring. So it plays for 2 to 5 players in 30 to 60 minutes. And when you play with 4 or 5, the competition for the buildings is really tight. When you play with 2 or 3, there's a variant with a neutral player that you can use to try and protect your own investments or to overshadow other people and kind of push them down.
So if we played like with 5 players, how long will it take?
I mean, honestly, I think the gameplay lasts about the same regardless of the number of players, because the rounds are scaled to the player count. So it really kind of depends on your play group. If people want to spend a lot of time thinking about where the best spot is going to be on any given turn, you'll be closer to the 60-minute side. If you're familiar with the locations, or you're playing with people who know it, you'll be closer to the 30-minute side.
So in this game there's dice management.
Yes.
Is there any way that you manipulate the result of the die that you have thrown?
Yeah, absolutely. This location, the library, is where your dice end up if they are not assigned elsewhere, or if you get outbid somewhere, they move to the library, and those provide you with knowledge tokens, which are essentially ways to re-roll. So in rounds that you do not particularly well, you get many more of these tokens. In rounds where you do very well, you get fewer of these tokens. And so it's sort of self-balancing in that when you're behind, you have more options to re-roll and try and get the results you're looking for.
So would you say that this is a medium, heavy, light, heavy?
I mean, it's on the light side of medium. Yeah. So the game is not terribly complicated. There's a bit of a learning curve in your first game to find out how each of the locations works, but the turns are not particularly brain-burny. It's really approachable, but it still has that kind of the weight of decisions that gives the oomph of a gamer's game.
Okay, thank you very much. Order of the Gilded Compass. Bye, guys.